It's all right. Moving forward.
Please.
Let's go to the star of the women's division, because did you notice who came out at the top of the 9 o'clock hour Eastern time? Rhea Ripley is making her entrance. She's entering the ring. Not only did they put her over in the Rumble, they've got lots of faith in her. You can tell, again, by placement and by the fact that, once again, she cut a promo that made a point and wasn't interrupted. And I can give you one reason why I believe that they are finally, well, I won't even say finally. They've been using her for quite some time, but that they've realized what they've got is because look at what she's done. You see the pictures of when she first came to NXT or whatever. She had blonde hair. She looked like every other blonde Barbie talent that they've signed over the past however many years.
No, she didn't.
And
That's the interesting thing. She looked better. She was a knockout.
She was gorgeous, but that was part of the thing is they've had a bunch of gorgeous women over the last 20 years. But from that, she has slowly developed and changed not only her in-ring work, which is, as we've said, is so advanced for not only this level of her experience, but also for any of the women in the business, in any company. I'm not talking about fucking Chigusa Nagayo that can do the off-the-top backwards tombstone pile driver through the whatever. I'm talking about working. Her fucking professionalism and working has increased, but also she's changed her gimmick to something that's completely unique and looks totally different and looks like an action movie star. And she's developed her promo. She speaks well. She's got inflection. You know, and she referenced the last time that she faced Charlotte. It didn't go well a few years ago, but now it's going to be different. She's basically the future. And she got the point out and chose Charlotte for WrestleMania for her title match, and got the fucking promo out and made the point, and with no interruption, and it was done to get talent over. So this was a great interview segment, just like Cody's was. But however, we're establishing a pattern here over the course of the whole program. I don't know what of this delicious buffet you might have taken out, but anyway, what'd you think of our girl Rhea?
Good promo. I actually want to ask you more about the decision here, the booking decision. You have a babyface Charlotte. You have Rhea, who it'll be interesting if people will keep booing her if they start showing her more in actual action in the ring as opposed to just being with Dominic and causing trouble with the Judgment Day. Would you have gone with Rhea versus babyface Charlotte? You got to figure Rhea finally gets her big win over Charlotte at WrestleMania, or would you have gone with Rhea and Bianca Belair, the two young stars that came out of NXT at the same time?
No, that's part of the reason. Because Charlotte is established for a longer period of time, has been more decorated, and is technically I know every girl has their fans, and Bianca's got a lot of fans, and I'm not trying to insult anybody, but it's just a fact that Charlotte is established in the pecking order, both in the WWE office and in people's minds, as she's been on top longer. And if you're going for a passing of the torch type of thing, you can't do a lateral torch pass. Bianca's about the same level as Ripley in terms of experience, in terms of tenure in the company and whatever the fuck. So leave that open-ended. And there's no bigger fan of Charlotte's work than me, and she absolutely positively does need to do the job for a heel Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania, because that kind of begins a passing of the torch to the newer generation, and then we can sort out in WrestleMania what's next year, 40 and 41 and 42. There's plenty of time for Ripley and Bianca when we haven't shot that. Charlotte's been working for I'm not saying she's ready to be put out to pasture in an iron lung, but
she doesn't need the belt.
She doesn't need the belt, and she's who knows in a year or two that we might have that WrestleMania match with Ripley. If it wasn't this year, is Charlotte, could she might get injured again? Or has she hit her athletic peak? Is now the time? Yeah, I don't want to say she ain't getting any younger. I mean, do that now. You've got more time for Ripley and Bianca. Don't answer that question before people are demanding it. But this will be a big step for Ripley. And also, I believe it'll be a better match because Charlotte's probably going to, not only is Rhea's work great, but Charlotte's probably going to lead it. And as long as there's no, outside the ring issues between them, they'll probably have a better match at this point than Rhea or Bianca would with each other.
I think it's going to be really interesting between now and WrestleMania if Charlotte can stay a babyface. I think that actually is going to be a tough thing to overcome, not even just in the match itself, but leading up to it. But with that said, just like we talked about with Cody, yeah, it seemed like the logical thing. Everyone thought, yeah, Cody has to win. And he did, and it was the right thing. You didn't have to swerve people. Same thing here, right? Rhea has to go over Charlotte after the previous.
Yes, and I mean, I'm not just talking about, just picking her up and throwing her down and fucking standing on her face 1, 2, 3. It can be, as long as it is a win, there can be, the heel can, or the babyface can always be screwed. And I think Charlotte will be a babyface, but people are going to get into Rhea as they already are, but they're not going to, I hope they wouldn't knee-jerk react to that by just, okay, well, we'll make her a babyface, blah, blah, blah. No, let them cheer the cool heel Rhea Ripley in that group, because Dominic is still going to fucking have some heat, because he's presented as a dislikable individual. So don't monkey with that right now. And Ripley can be a heel and beat Charlotte, but beat her in a heel fashion. It does a lot for Rhea. Charlotte has, is not the end of her career, and off we go.
All right.